Hi, I'm Tom. Welcome back to another QuakeCon Duel Grand Final retrospective. We're here, 2012. Cypher is back for his third Grand Final. It's happening. It's an even year, so that means that Cypher is in the Grand Final. He's been here in 2008, 2010, and now 2012, with Rapha in between in 2009 and 2011. If you want to extrapolate, that means Rapha should be in the 2013 Grand Final, and spoiler, he is. So Cypher is gunning to become the second person to win 3 QuakeCon Grand Finals. 04 has been sitting up there for almost 10 years now, as the QuakeCon god. And it's taken this long for someone to get back up to this level of consistency and challenge him. Tox was up there for 2 years in 2006 and 2007. You know, Tox was extremely dominant in Quake 4 at that time, but what Cypher and Rapha have done to Quake Live is incredible. The game is being pushed to a whole new level, and unfortunately, as we come into 2012, it is not a good year for Quake Live. 2011 was the last year that the Intel Extreme Masters would feature Quake Live. So of the 3 kind of big events of the year, you had QuakeCon, you had the DreamHack events, and you had Intel events. The Intel ones have dropped off. And also Shootmania came out, and everyone started playing Shootmania. So making the trip from Europe to America is kind of expensive. Cypher was the only high-profile European at QuakeCon 2012. So no huge shock that he's in the Grand Final. So his opponent is Dahang, a really strong American player who has been around way back to Quake 2. Dahang is a player who I think has gotten a lot of attention in Quake Champions. A lot of players who weren't, following the top-level scene really carefully, I think tended to overlook Dahang in Quake Live. He was a really good player. He had amazing placements. He was the guy to beat Rapha in a tournament when Rapha was at the top of his game. It was either Dahang or Cypher that would kind of knock him out in a semi-final or something, right? And that's exactly what happened at this tournament, by the way. Dahang 3-0'd Rapha, knocking him out to the third place match, which Rapha then won against CZM. Dahang, to me, is a pillar of consistency. He isn't flashy to watch, and I think that means some people write him off as being a bit boring, but, just because he isn't hitting flashy shots and doing flashy aim doesn't mean he isn't an interesting player to watch and analyze, and I've definitely learned a lot looking at his games over the years. So, will Cypher win 3 QuakeCons, or will Dahang be the opposition to stand in his way? He's 3-0'd Rapha. What can he do against Cypher? And, in the opening maps of this series, Dahang has taken maps off Cypher. It's been very, very close, very intense. Alright, so Furious Heights. This is the second year in a row we're going to be watching this map, and we are watching Cypher off the spawn. Spawn's red armor, plasma gun. He's going to come up and look for a little bit of chip damage. Actually comes all the way forward, and this is something I think you tended to see more and more later on in Quake Live. Players worked out that if you just rush to this LG, if your opponent's there and going for it, you shred them with plasma, especially on land. So Cypher's able to get this gun, he's able to get to this rocket launcher, and now he can decide. He knows that Dahang doesn't have a rail or an LG, so if Cypher plays this position, and Dahang is down here below him, Dahang only has a rocket, so Cypher can really play his position here. He can try and block Dahang off from getting 2 out of the 3 main guns. Dahang rockets himself through the grates there, but hits really, really strong rockets. So Cypher doesn't want to hang around for this red. He's probably just going to look for a rail and leave. Dahang's actually here with some cool pressure, but he's now probably going to be too late to have any presence at this red, and Cypher's going to get it fairly easily. All that damage Dahang didn't really amount to much. Cypher's been able to stack back up on HP bubbles. He still won the red, and he's still in here to mess with Dahang picking up this mega. Cypher cautious with jumping across. He's scared of the LG. Dahang is going to hit some pretty sick LG, especially if you give him good situations where you're stuck in the air, not able to get through. Dahang just thinking about hitting some damage and setting up for this red. Cypher? He's peeking out, he's looking for Dahang, and he reads out the trap perfectly. Amazing anticipation here for Cypher. Dahang hits some really strong defensive damage. He's going to go down, but not without taking a chunk out of Cypher, and Cypher is, you can't let Cypher get an easy frag, right? Because he is going to get in your face off of the spawn while you have no guns. His fighting skills are incredible. And so Cypher back on 100-100. He knows he can play around this yellow. Cypher thinking about how he can deny Dahang guns, or what guns Dahang is going to be looking for while he's moving towards this mega. He's thinking about making some damage onto Dahang here. Dahang makes the jump across, hits a lot of LG as he does. And Cypher hoping to get a bit of exit damage with this rocket as he comes to the top position above red. It's going to be interesting to see if Cypher thinks he can jump down here, and he does. So he just commits, he goes in, absolutely fearless. Dahang might pick up this frag in return. Cypher, huge rockets to make that a neutral. And that's really interesting, right? If Dahang gets out and pins Cypher there, it's really, really bad, because Dahang's going to get such an easy red, he's going to have a yellow, he's going to get rail. There's going to be nothing on the mega side of the map for Cypher to respawn onto, really. So, you know, Cypher really hoping that that roof is going to shield him as he drops down. And now it's just down to the spawns, and Cypher respawns onto that dead rocket launcher. He's going to have the advantage here just by the merit of having a weapon. He positions himself around onto the 25 HP bubble, and he's going to pull himself out even further into a lead with some really nice rockets. This mega could be awkward. Dahang would love to get a bit of chip rocket damage or something onto Cypher. Cypher thinking about how Dahang wants to come out to this red, and Dahang is happy to just split this off. He will get a mega. He will gladly have a mega, because he gets a mega and a yellow. Cypher really just gets a red. He did kind of have the yellow before. Dahang, interesting for Cypher to pick up the 50 HP bubble there. Now he's going to have a sense of when it is, and Dahang probably won't. I'm not sure if it'll come to anything, but it could actually be an important factor in how Cypher thinks about the damage over the next few minutes. So Cypher listening for a sound cue. He wants to hear Dahang, you know, jumping across these pillars or something where he can get good opening damage. Dahang sitting down at this red. I think Cypher maybe dived down a little bit later than he'd hoped, just because it felt like he wanted to drop down as it was coming and kind of hit the rocket as he did, potentially bounce Dahang away. Instead, he doesn't get a load of damage, and he actually bleeds off a lot of his stack. So yeah, Cypher just plays it easy. He's listening for sound cues. He disappears when he needs to, and just completely vanishes from the map. Hits some okay rockets, not a lot of damage exchanged there. I don't think it's enough that Cypher's going to feel like his life has been changed. Scary jump across. No rail from Dahang. Cypher knows Mega's going to be next, and let's have a quick look at these times. 10 seconds until Mega, 20 seconds until the next red, so Cypher could actually position himself either down the bottom here or maybe up towards the 50 HP. Dahang gets in his face, and this I really like. If you let Cypher sit down the bottom of the map, he can take pot shots with the rail, he can look to bleed off your stack with the lightning gun. If you get down and in his face, you force him to either commit to a fight or leave. And Cypher's out, right? He doesn't have the stack. Dahang is probably going to be scarily close to 200 right now. You don't want to fight it. You don't want to fight it. And because he bullies him away, he's able to collect that mega and then also get down to red. So Cypher forced to just play this, you know, sit back and rail game. Again, you know, 2 frags up, doesn't need to take any unnecessary risks. He's got a good armor stack on him, but if he takes a rail, that's going to very quickly disappear, especially because he can guess right now that Dahang's just taken mega, he's just taken red, he's just taken yellow over at rail, and now he's up in this position, stopping Cypher getting this other yellow armor free. If Cypher goes for this yellow, he's going to take some kind of damage that makes it not worthwhile. So this red, really the next thing Cypher could even think about getting, it's going to be red then mega, I think, or yeah, pretty similar time on them. Cypher just plays quiet, lets Dahang actually make the first sound cue, and that tells Cypher that he can sneak around towards this mega. I don't think he can jump for it. And yeah, I mean, you know, potentially if Dahang was a bit slower getting to the top position with LG, Cypher could have jumped across to mega. Instead, Dahang has to come raging out there. Cypher just backs around, sneaks onto an item. So being very non-confrontational, using sounds, and just playing to make sure that he gets something. And now he has a meaty stack. Dahang shouldn't drop down here. This could end very, very badly. And Dahang just looks for this rail. It's beautiful. Really, really smart play here for Dahang. You know, he's making the kind of plays he needs to make sure that he's holding on to the bigger stack. But he needs to watch out now that Cypher has this armor, because he's going to certainly be looking to make a play soon. Cypher looking to control where Dahang can go off the exit of that red, trying to make sure that if Dahang's down the bottom of the map, he's gonna, you know, not be able to stick around and make damage onto the mega. And Dahang comes in up top, Cypher making a lot of noise. Dahang may be able to make something off of those sound cues. Excellent LG for Dahang. Surely that tells Cypher that he's got to leave. Even sticking around for those rails was a risk. If Cypher takes a rail there, I think it can end very, very badly. But he has to... He can't just let Dahang have that mega. Dahang powering up the stairs takes a lot of damage. And Cypher's defensive rockets are so good that that he can really grind some games to a halt. So red's going to be coming. Cypher with the spam. None of it connecting. Stopping and listening here. He does get a sound cue from Dahang. And Cypher loving the rail right now. It's going to be his best friend. Nothing connects, and it's really unfortunate for Cypher and Dahang. They're both looking for good rail angles, and really just hoping that something connects. There's a good shot for Dahang. Cypher knows the time of this red. Very critical you know the time of that red if you're trying to back away onto it there. Dahang doesn't even try and follow through for damage. If Cypher's picking up that red, you don't want to give him like a bunch of free LG or plasma as you try and push through the corridor. That's how you burn your stack away. And we actually saw Strengths give a lot away against Rapha last year, doing exactly that. So Dahang, playing to hold on to what he has here. Nice connection there for Cypher. Dahang's going to be on top of the map. Cypher, I love that Cypher sits and waits there, right? If you watch less experienced players, they're gonna get to that position, they're gonna peek out, they're gonna look for the shot, and they're gonna disappear. And that's exactly what I do in that situation. Cypher sits there, he takes a breath, he visualizes exactly where Dahang's gonna be, what Dahang's gonna be thinking. He gets inside his mind, and then at the perfect time, he peeks around, hits the shot, and disappears. You know, it's the ability to not just stage a good situation, but to really have that understanding of how to throw your opponent's kind of, it's like a rhythm, right? That's what it feels like watching Cypher sometimes. He has an understanding of how his opponents want to think about these fights. Dahang, Plasma Gun, and then Rail, none of it really able to connect to slow down Cypher there. And so Cypher gets away with this Mega, and now he has the stack advantage. Like a fairly definite stack advantage, I think for the first time in a few minutes, shortly, right? Cypher trying to trap Dahang at these stairs. Dahang not going to have it. He's already been caught there a few times and taken a lot of damage there. And I think they've actually been really significant moments to slow Dahang down from pushing into Cypher, and have really what's allowed Cypher to stack up like this. Dahang playing it quiet, playing it cool, waits to come through this teleporter, actually makes the jump across to this Mega, takes a lot of damage in the process. I don't think he's going to get out of here safely. Cypher, oh, I think that Rail would have killed him, but Dahang has made a really sick play off the back of that. If you think about where the stacks are, Dahang is on a side of the map with a lot of HP. He's going to get his HP back up to at least 75, if not 100, if he's able to get the 50 HP bubble. He's just picked up the red without taking any damage, so he's probably going to come out of this 100-100, and there's going to be yellow armor for him, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it looks like we can see the pickup from where Cypher was standing. So basically, yeah, sorry, I got a bit confused about those timings. Apparently you do actually... Dahang is close enough to Cypher here that he does actually get the pickup on the spec timers. Or maybe we just have all the items here. I don't know. Either way, the stacks are pretty close. Red, the next item up, Cypher, yeah, just kind of walks out into the room. Dahang, very crafty, ready to make some kind of play. Interesting to commit with the rail there, especially for two rails, the second dropping down, but it's enough, like he hits hard enough that Cypher has to leave. Cypher... yeah, doesn't want to get caught near that lower position. A rocket fight goes very badly, and now Dahang has firmly put himself back in control of the map. So Cypher just not prepared for the crafty little traps of Dahang there, and gets caught out. You know, hitting that first shot when the stacks are close makes all the difference. Great push for Dahang, great rocket for Cypher. It's not going to be enough to slow Dahang down, surely. Cypher, railable right now, just has to play so tight. His movement has to be perfect. Rocket sailing, you know, narrowly nearby there, but Cypher just playing quiet. 10 seconds until this red. Mega's going to be up as well, actually. Interesting route for Dahang here. I think Mega's up. And Cypher just sits and waits and bides his time. Dahang, yeah, very, very good to punish that pickup. You can't let Cypher just sit around and be quiet and get a red for free. And of course he's charging through here. He had time after that Mega. And Cypher just trying to waste time here. Again, 2 frags up, 2 minutes on the clock. This can be a very slow, very defensive map. And with not much else to do for Cypher right now, he's got to play it quiet. Beautiful trap for Dahang to pick up that frag. Really excellent play. Dahang, you know, just... despite Cypher's best efforts, Dahang has a read on him, is able to get in and punish Cypher for trying to slow this game down, right? Once you go slow, it can be really hard to get that momentum back, and Dahang definitely has the run of the map here. He's going to be thinking about what weapon Cypher can go for. Cypher catches a glimpse of him. That's probably a sign that he can move up towards this OG. He's going to scrounge up whatever shards he can on the way. 10 seconds until this Mega, and Cypher's in a good position for it. This is probably the best position to be in with Mega coming. Cypher doesn't have the stack to stick around through the fight, but is able to get some damage as Dahang charges through. Cypher again playing these defensive positions. Grenade launcher, most defensive position on the map. He can listen, he can see what Dahang's doing, he can fall away. Rail's coming, Cypher doesn't want to go for it, because once he's in that rail, if Dahang is there, if he does kind of like triple back around to that grenade launcher or double back, if Dahang hears him in the water, Cypher's going to be dead. And with 1 frag in it and a minute to go, yeah, Cypher is just going to run this clock down wherever he can. Dahang, the buzz of the railgun behind, looking for any shots. Cypher basically playing defrag at this point, just fleeing as best he can. It feels like Cypher's going to go down in the next 2 seconds here, and really the most important thing is that he's able to hit some shots as he does. Amazing that Dahang's had such a careful grip on the items while still maintaining this pressure and maintaining this chase. Really beautiful play here from Dahang. Like, you know, a lesser player would have given Cypher that mega. Dahang knew exactly where to be, and he knew exactly how long he could take to get there. And there's Dahang is going to tie this up with 15 seconds on the clock. It's so hard for Cypher now. Dahang misses what could have been a deciding rail, and that is probably going to let Cypher hang on to get this into an overtime. And there we go, Cypher playing out of control, well, for the last two-ish minutes, really. Beautiful shot for Dahang there. Really important to hit these across the map. Cypher picks up the 50 just to stay alive. Railable again. Terrifying place to be, and this is going to be a 2-minute overtime here, so, you know, almost a quarter of the way into this time already. Cypher, not much stack to play with. Things are looking excellent for Dahang. Beautiful rockets for Cypher, and Cypher's rocket fighting skills are just insane. Like we have to rewind and rewatch this, okay? Because Dahang comes in strong and just gets obliterated by those bounces, and Cypher's dodge around this pillar. How does he do it? The man is a wizard. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that it's allowed to happen. But not only does he hold on, he deals a lot of damage to Dahang. The problem is, there's nothing for Cypher to take until this next yellow armor comes up. This HP bubble even is not going to be coming up for him. Cypher finally able to pick up this rail. He finally feels like he has space, but with 58 HP, he is not in a comfortable place. 1 rail is going to leave him, you know, critically weak. Interesting that Cypher gets the pick up of that red for free. Dahang instead, I think, trying to look for a trap towards the exit of the yellow armor. Or just not wanting to peek over and take the fight, right? Because he's getting mega and yellow. It's worth more than red and yellow. But either way, Cypher has been able to get up to a big armor stack here. And giving that red armor away might actually be a critical thing that allows Cypher to have so much more presence here with those shards. And with a rail, like another rail, and Cypher has a clear advantage here. Not able to hit it on the actual pickup. He hears Dahang go through the teleporter as he comes around here. Dahang doesn't take a lot of damage. I like his movement into that room. Cypher playing the bottom of the map like an absolute champion. His movement and dodging is supreme. That rail from Dahang tells Cypher he needs to go. He's going to hang around as long as he can. He's wasted a lot of time. Dahang actually drops down to chase, and that's really, really cool. That means that Cypher can't stick around on that red, and it means that if he goes for mega, he's going to take a lot of damage, and he actually loses his nerve and gives up that mega to Dahang. That is such a beautiful push. Again, yeah, this is kind of what I was saying about Dahang, right? Like, he doesn't look like a flashy player. He doesn't do visually impressive stuff, but that is such a sick play. Not many players can make that commitment, can realize the timing of the red like that, can realize quite how long they've been delayed by Cypher, and can commit to denying both items. It's huge. It's huge. I love it so much. There we go. Overtime number 2. I really don't remember this as being a final with overtimes, right? 2010, 2016, they're the big overtime finals. Every other final just kind of, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, really, really weird. I don't have a great memory of this year. Cypher playing, again, just playing off these sound cues, right? He doesn't have any stack to work with after Dahang denied him everything. And Cypher looking to make damage as Dahang tries to push in for this frag, right? That's really what he has to fall back on here, his extremely strong defensive rockets. And like I said, he can just grind these games to an absolute halt. Cypher, even though he's out of control, even though he's not taking these items, he has a lot of presence, and he's able to make sure he still hears the pickup of that red so that he can play around that. I love that Dahang comes to that position rather than going for his yellow armor, because Cypher has been looking for Dahang to come up those stairs time and time again. Dahang kind of capitalizes on the direction Cypher's facing even to get to the position he's in, right? And to potentially get the trap to get the damage. He doesn't get it, but the potential's there. And Cypher not able to connect with his shots. Red is going to be coming. He expects to hang down low, but he's got to be prepared to drop away if Dahang comes down from up high. And again, no connection with that shot from Cypher. He's scrounging the shards where he can. Nice pick up here. Cypher hoping Dahang peeks around. He's saying, you know, I dare you to peek around here. A little bit of time between Red and Mega. Cypher's in the best spot for it. And I really like that he backs away early, because it feels like Dahang has kind of been pushing out to the other item and so that he has something to fall back on, rather than just sticking around to his item and being happy to split them off. I think that's, you know, Cypher playing very reactive. But now that he's got that Mega, now that he's positioned himself on that Mega, oh, devastating for Dahang. Cypher gets the Mega, has the shards, has the yellow. He has so much stack off the back of that. And Dahang pretty much lets him walk into it. I guess Cypher's spam there is fairly critical as well. Dahang gets a catch that would have made such a dent on Cypher's stack, misses a rail where Cypher's standing still, and suddenly the rail's traded instead. So now Cypher might have an opportunity, hits the shot onto Red as well. And now how does Cypher set up for this Mega? This is going to be such a critical Mega. Right, Dahang, how much armor does he have? He's going to have about 100 HP. He's going to have 100 and something armor, probably. And Cypher's playing the bottom of the map. This is interesting, right? Because Mega's going to come. Cypher's completely out of sight. Dahang comes up to the top of the map, and here's Cypher to make the damage. Cypher is playing for max damage right now. And he's so good at fighting down here. His movement's so perfect. Hits that direct rocket, comes back into the room. He smells blood in the water. This is his chance to pull ahead in this game. So cautious for Dahang there. Backs away. He's going to slip away onto the red. But again, Cypher, Mega, yellow, plus 20 points of armor from the shards. He's 200. He's just demolished the stack of Dahang. Dahang hasn't even got this yellow. So now that Cypher sees that yellow up, he knows that it's time to push in, right? He's got 200 points of stack advantage, a good entrance shot, and Dahang's dead. Even without a good entrance shot, Dahang's dead. But, you know, like, a good rail, a good rocket, it's going to open everything up for him. Dahang's stuck with the plasma out here. His back's against the wall. He has nowhere to go. Cypher might just be able to hit some shots here, and he does. Huge connections. Dahang backs away, but he's going to be so weak. This red, a few seconds away still. Cypher's going to have time to bully him away if he's even there. Dahang jumps. Oh no. Oh no, Dahang. Cypher hits perfect LG there. We have to rewind. It's a critical moment in the game, but we have to rewind and rewatch it. Dahang has a nice defensive rocket down there, but does he just mess up his jump and hit the wall? Or does the I think he just messed up his jump. Maybe the LG messed up. I would like to think that Cypher's LG was so good that it pushed Dahang off course. I think what probably actually happened is that Dahang messed up his jump at a critical moment with 30 seconds left on the clock. Absolutely devastating. He's played so well. He comes in for this LG. He knows he needs to make something happen, and Cypher cleaning him up. Dahang calls GG. What an amazing map here in the 2012 Grand Final. And like I said, a Grand Final, I think, kind of gets overlooked between, you know, 2010, 2013, 2016, right? All Grand Finals people really talk a lot about. 2012, I don't hear people... I've never heard anyone say it's their favorite Grand Final, but this one's huge. There's some really great stuff in it. This map especially is very exciting. I watched the Toxicity as well. I was kind of thinking about doing that. I wouldn't do a video on a Toxicity game without watching it ahead of time, just to make sure it's appropriate. And yeah, I decided that I would just roll the dice and see what happened here. I had no idea that this Grand Final had such a close map in it with so many overtimes. I love that moment with Cypher at the bottom of the map. He made so much happen at that Mega. It feels like one of those moments that pretty much no one else except Cypher could pull off. When I was learning Quake Duel, I would talk to more experienced players, and they would encourage me to study demos of good players, right? And they would always tell me, watch good players, but don't copy what Cypher does, because if you try and copy it, you're not going to have the magic, you're not going to have the sixth sense for combat that he does. And so if you try and do those things, it's going to be the wrong play. Some really amazing moments in that game though. Dahang's control play was so strong. It's so unfortunate that it was what looks like a mistake at a really critical moment, kind of similar to what we saw in 2009 when Rapha dropped a map to Sparty because he ran out of ammo. So after this map, they go on to play the Decider, which is Lost World, and if memory serves, Cypher completely demolishes Dahang. Cypher does become the second person ever to win 3 QuakeCon Grand Finals, cements himself, at this point he's already, one of the greatest Quake players of all time, but I think this Grand Final, even though there were no other strong Europeans there, it was a really strong showing, and even though the world had kind of moved on at this point from Quake Live, it felt like Cypher was still at the top. Now, the good news for us is there are going to be some really strong QuakeCons after this, even though Quake Live will continue to diminish, right? It's also probably worth mentioning, actually, I think in episode 1 and 2, maybe I talked a bit about prize pools. The prize pool for this event, these guys played that amazing game of Quake Live, They've worked so hard, They've got so much skill on display. Cypher won $9,000 for that. Dahang taking second place, $5,000. And that's kind of the prize pool for the early Quake Live era, right? That's more or less what you see. In 2009, we see $14,000 first prize. 2010, we see a $14,000 first prize. Then 11, 12, 13, $8,000, $9,000. It does go back up a little bit for 2016. Back to $12,000, and then after that, when we get into the Quake Champions era, the prizes get bigger. But, when we look back, 2004, CZM won 25 grand, 04 took home a second prize place of $15,000. So, the prize pools have diminished. And it just breaks my heart that this was the point in history where only one top European player could attend a QuakeCon, even though the level of skill was still really, really high. Anyway, I've said a lot about this game, and this video has ended up being a little bit longer than I planned. So I hope you've enjoyed it. This was a crazy close game, one that I had pretty much completely forgotten. So thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back next year with a huge grand final in 2013. Another one of my favorites. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Tom, and I'll catch you next time.